frame here. Just make
Oh,
sure you see yourself on the screen. Yeah, this is how we do it. All right, welcome to the Vicinity of Infinity Podcast, episode number. I have no clue. I have no idea what order these are going to be in, especially due to recent incidents. Anyway, so first introduce yourself.
I'm Madison. Hello.
All right, and I'm Vinegreal8426, as all of you know. So let's dive right into it. What are your thoughts on the recent decisions made by Vinegreal7284?
I think they're awesome, you know.
In what ways? Like, what specifically?
You know, how there's specific vinegar eels and they're all numbered.
So you think the numbering system really works for the vinegar eel planet?
Yeah, it makes sense, you know. You know who's who by the number.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, I mean, it's like the different digits based on the classes of the eels, you know, based on their status and you voting and things like that. I mean, you know, and it's completely fair too if those kind of things are voted upon by a majority of the eel citizens, of like, you know, what status does this eel have? Like, you know, vote for your eel, you know. So
yeah, it's like a whole political thing.
And then we all know about how many digits you have, and you know what planet you get distributed on as a pet, or if you stay there, you know, whatever.
Oh, there's multiple planets.
There's vinegar eels on Earth. I mean, you know that, right? They're in vinegar.
Oh.
They're a real thing. They're called Turbotrix aceti. That's their Latin name.
Cool. I
They're
didn't know that.
vinegar eels. Every time, if you've consumed unpasteurized vinegar, you've consumed vinegar eels, and are therefore
like
not a vegetarian. So, they can grow up to 1/16 of an inch, which is very large for the microscopic community. But yeah, they're not visible to the human eye, to the unaided human eye. So, anyways, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what's your backstory? Take us through the beginning of everything to now, in your own words.
Well, I was born, you know, learning how to be a human for a couple of years. And then, I don't know, went to school, grew up, played outside, imagined a bunch of random shit, and ran around houses and played in the dirt and was a kid, basically. And, you know, now I'm here, basically.
And then one day you lost that motivation.
Yeah, well, no. Yes and no. I am in school still, so I guess
What, like K through 12?
Well, no, I graduated.
Okay, good. Because I was about to say, like, really? But yeah.
No, I think anyone, I mean, no judgment, of course, but if you can't finish high school, like, what's wrong with you? Like,
I didn't even know that was a thing until recently. Like, I thought K through 12 was just required, and you had to at least graduate
no, by the
high
age
school.
of 16, you can sign yourself out of school and drop out.
Wow. Yeah, I just learned about that recently, but yeah. I mean, I technically didn't graduate high school yet, but I mean, I'm in
You're
college.
in high school though, right?
Yeah, I'm dual enrolled, so I'm gonna get both at the same time. But I mean, you know, it's just about getting your degree while you're still a high school student. And
Yeah, no,
just
it's awesome.
getting it over with while I'm young, because school's for kids. That's my opinion. You know, like, yeah, you shouldn't, like, as an adult, when you get into your 20s, you shouldn't still be in the college or at a university. A lot of people are, but I mean, like, you know, in my opinion, you should have most of that through with in your adolescence.
I kind of disagree with that.
You can be doing other stuff.
I disagree with that because, you know, like, you go to school for something so you can, like, have a career in it. And, like, how can you have a career in something if you don't know what you want to do? Why would you waste your time and money on classes for a degree that you're going to end up not using?
What I mean, that's not what I mean. I don't mean don't go to college. What I mean is get it over with younger, so that you have more time. Yeah, that's like just the whole system about how the retirement works, about, like, you spend the prime years of your life from, like, 20 to 50, you know, working some, you know, boring job, and then you finally get to retire when you're old and can't do anything, you know. So, like, basically when society has
your young years
drained you of everything and you're just shriveled up, and, you know.
Yeah, but also your young years are to set your future up,
right?
You know, for yourself.
But the future should never be when you're too old to enjoy it. You know, the future, you should be able to enjoy life.
Yeah.
Like, I just think it's terrible that a lot of people have to just struggle to just get money, and then they finally have money, but then they're not able to do anything with it. So
yeah,
that's just, in my opinion, that's just a good old lesson from Joshua here, from your good friend, folks, is to, like, just try to get money as early in life as possible, really. But anyway, so what's your favorite flavor ice cream?
I don't know. I have a couple. I definitely like coffee ice cream. I like.
It's like a Jamocha milkshake.
Or like cookies and cream is always awesome. Anything with those peanut butter cups in it. Those like Rocky Road peanut butter cups. Those are awesome.
True. I mean, you just really can't go wrong with ice cream. I mean, there's a lot of experimental flavors I know, like bacon-flavored ice cream, pickle-flavored ice cream, bubblegum-flavored ice cream, just to name a few.
Bubblegum might be good, but everything else...
Yeah, well, that's a little bit more normal, I guess. Speaking of bubblegum, would you eat, and by eat I mean like swallow and everything, fully digest, deep-fried bubblegum?
No.
Because I have. And I asked, it was at a fair, of course, and I asked the people there, like, is it safe to swallow this stuff? Because, you're not supposed to swallow bubblegum. And they're like, oh, yeah, go ahead. It's fine. You'll be all right. So I did, and I was fine. So, I mean, to the best of my knowledge. So we'll find out in, like, 20 years. But for now, it seems to be everything's still in working order. So.
Well, I definitely don't think that one time of eating bubblegum is going to kill you. But how you live your life and what you give to
just don't do it every day, yeah. Basically.
Yeah, don't do it every day for sure.
Yeah, mix it up. Have some funnel cake once in a while instead, something a little healthier.
Fried Oreos, those are so good.
Yeah, those are a little healthier, get some nutrition in like that. I mean, what are your thoughts on just fried things in general? Because so many people are just disgusted by anything deep fried, and I'm not.
I mean,
which is strange because I'm the vegetarian, the designated vegetarian of my family and my friend circle, and so it's the correlation that I'm supposed to be like this picky eater or whatever. But no, man, I'll eat anything. I just don't consider animals food. But other than that, I'll eat anything, man. I've eaten stuff out of the garbage, stuff with mold on it. I don't care. But what's your thoughts on that?
Fried food. I like the taste of it. But it's unhealthy, so.
Right, in moderation, though.
Yeah,
in moderation. Some people just refuse it altogether because, like, oh, that's disgusting.
No.
It exists for a reason.
Yeah.
It's been FDA inspected and approved.
Well,
whatever
the FDA
that's worth.
is, how.
Whatever that's worth. I mean,
It's not worth much.
Well, I also heard in the documentary somewhere they only inspect like 0.01% of food or something. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, barely anyone goes.
You're spamming that stamp. But, well, what's your favorite color?
I don't have one.
Why is it? Oh. Okay. So, you don't discriminate when it comes to colors then? They're all equal?
Not about that. I just like them all.
If that's not the case, then some are clearly superior. So what are some of the top tier ones? Some of the VIP first order.
Mint, olive green. I really like neon green, or like hot pink, black, even though it's more like a shade. What about you?
Oh, whoa! Is this the Ask Joshua Questions podcast now or something? I mean.
Yes, it's a conversation. A podcast is a conversation, isn't it?
I mean, I'm the host. I'm supposed to be the asker of questions.
All right, move on then.
Whatever. No, it's fine. It's fine. I fine. Whatever. I like blue and green. I think those are
blue and green.
Positive colors.
Yeah, green's calming.
Yeah, well, green's the color of creativity. I learned that from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, actually, by reverse psychology. I looked it up afterwards, like, is green really not a creative color? Like, no, it's ironic. Green's actually the most creative color. Oh, okay, I learned something new now. Thanks, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, for teaching me. But, I mean, you're familiar with that series, right?
What's the series?
Oh, what? Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, the YouTube series?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, wow. Well, you gotta watch that.
Okay.
It's very... just a lot of let's see, recommendations as far as well, for channels. David Firth, who created Salad Fingers, most famous for Salad Fingers, but also he makes a lot of weird, obscure stuff too, so that's always a real hoot. Don Hirschfeld, another good animator, makes pencil-drawn, hand-drawn, like stop-motion kind of stuff, like with paper, like what's it called, flip book. That style of animation, very simplistic. My favorite, he's most well known for World of Tomorrow, but my personal favorite from him is It's Such a Beautiful Day, which is something that really resonated with me. I've watched it like 6 times now, and I get a completely different impression from it each time, but it's always very impacting, and it's just a very moving piece. It's an hour long. It's a short film.
What's it about?
I still don't know really, and that's the point. It's not random though. It's just very intelligent. It's very deep and subtle. We follow our protagonist Bill, who presumably I guess has some sort of disease or something, and I guess it's just like about his gradual deteriorating state of the human body and the mind and stuff like that, and just like about like attitudes toward like death and stuff like that. I've always been fascinated about the concept of like death and just anything that like explores that, in film and music and TV, the internet stuff. That's pretty much desensitized at this point, but also fascinated.
Very jaded.
Yeah, I have a dark sense of humor as well too. So I need my comedy to have some kind of controversiality to it. But unless we're talking like Boardwalk Burgers joke, obviously the magnum opus of.
What did you say?
The Boardwalk Burgers joke.
Oh, I don't know it.
Oh. So the joke goes like this. So I was driving down Interstate 4 the other day, and then I came across this place called Boardwalk Burgers, and it seemed like one of these generic, like mom and pop kind of places. They have some homeless people shove some burgers on a grill and flip them around and stuff like that. And so I made a real wisecrack that I'm like, oh, Boardwalk Burgers, more like bored burgers, because the burgers aren't having any fun. I mean, yeah, it's a real gut buster, real side splitter, real rib tickler.
No.
It's from another podcast that I watch. Shout out to, I shouldn't mention them because then you'll stop watching this one. But do you
post these online?
Yeah, these are on my YouTube channel.
Oh.
You already knew about that. So let's get some random trivia fun facts about yourself going.
What do you want to know?
Because we always got to know about the guests. Just some interesting fun facts about anything.
I've always wanted to be a dancer, but my dad made me play softball. I absolutely hate when people put shoes or wet towels on the bed. So freaking annoying.
Shoes I understand, but I also people wear shoes indoors, like inside a house or anything. That really bothers me.
Yeah,
but the towel thing I don't get as much.
Well, the bed is like the same kind of material as a towel, right? It absorbs the wetness.
It's like wearing socks and sandals, I guess.
No, it's like wearing wet socks, or it's like wearing wet socks into dry shoes, or you put dry socks on and then you put your shoes your feet in your shoes and then it's all wet. It's like going into bed and your freaking bed is wet.
Yeah, it's like, where did all these blasted eels come from? I just wanted to buy a plumbus,
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I get it. But whose team are you on though, Frobbles or Wizbo?
Wizbo.
Oh, are you sure about that one? Why?
I don't know. I don't even know what
that's
you're
a bold
talking
claim,
about.
man. I mean, Wizbo. Well, you got to explain yourself here. I'm not promoting this, folks. I just would want to establish that. This isn't anything goes kind of podcast. Free speech is welcomed and encouraged. So, go. You got the floor now. You got to explain yourself here about Wizbo.
I don't even know who the two people you asked me were.
People.
Or whatever you asked me. I don't know. what that is.
You try to personify. See, here's the thing about you naturally occurring CBLs is just like carbon-based life forms. It's just like try to personify things to your species. Like, it's a name. It has to be a proper noun. It has to be a human, surely, right? Well, no, not necessarily. I mean, in the case of Wizbo and Frobbles, I mean, you wouldn't be alive without either of them. I mean, it's not like we're talking about Nagitha here, who's just like, everybody can agree these just should never have existed. That as well as, let's see, Azathoth. So Nagitha and Azathoth definitely should not have existed. I think that's kind of a universally agreed thing. But I mean, there's necessary evil, and then there's just the overboard evil. So when we're talking Frobbles and Wizbo, I mean, yeah, Frobbles does have the encouragement of the majority, does have the majority on its side. But yeah, Wizbo obviously is something that we need to realize is that we kind of need a Wizbo in our galaxy.
So it's a good thing that I said Wizbo then, right?
Yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with a lot of angry people in the comment section for that. Like, oh, what, Wizbo? How dare you? That's undermining humanity or whatever. Yeah, it's my YouTube channel, so I'm the one being demonetized for this. But yeah, whatever. Anyway, what are your thoughts on
pineapple on pizza?
Sure, let's talk about that.
You eat pineapple on your pizza?
I probably have at some point. I don't particularly like it, but I don't really have anything against it.
I love it.
I don't think it should be banned or anything.
Well, see, before I was a vegetarian, I loved the Hawaiian, ham and pineapple on pizza, but I don't eat, meat anymore. So I love doing a sweet and spicy. So I do pineapple and I do jalapenos on my pizza.
Oh, see, jalapenos. That's another thing too. Jalapenos get a lot of hate in society. I don't think they deserve it. I'm standing up for jalapenos. I'm standing up for Taco Bell, and I'm standing up for what was the other thing I was talking about earlier today? Well, it's just like the thing. It was some food related. Now it'll come back to me later. But
you were talking about Boardwalk Burgers.
No, I mean earlier today at my house. But yeah, it'll come back to me later probably. But or after the podcast is over. But in any case, yeah, for sure. But are you a vegetarian? For what reason?
Well, I really ultimately want to go vegan.
Yeah, that's a big step though, no more ice cream, no more butter,
cheese.
No more anything with cheese, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, vegan ice cream's pretty good. Like the So Delicious brand, they have this Banana Foster
ice cream. I think my brother eats that.
Bro, the Banana Foster is so good. It's so good. And no animals were harmed, and it's not, I don't know, I just don't feel guilty eating it. I want to go vegan for the animals, for my health, and for our environment. Not ecosystem. Well, yeah, ecosystem. That was right. I'm just going in the right direction.
So, not contribute to a cycle of negativity.
Yes, and
become a.
I don't understand
jellyfish.
how people think you can kill something humanely. You can't kill anything humanely that doesn't want to be killed. I don't know.
Well, and that
the fucking dairy industry is so fucked up, and I mean, it's all real messed up.
Well, that's another thing too.
And we're just supporting it with a blind eye and not even realizing what was going on. I didn't even realize what I was eating and doing to my supporting all these years of my life till maybe 2-3 years ago when my sister became a vegan. I never ever even acknowledged what was going on or what I was
just
eating.
Taught growing up all the
normal.
propaganda. It's animals are delicious.
Yeah, it's fine. It's okay to eat. We're the superior. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
It's all right. They don't have feelings. They don't need to
they don't
consent.
feel anything.
You can take pictures of them on the safari. They don't need to sign They don't need to sign releases to be on nature documentaries.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to ask their permission to destroy their home.
Yeah, right.
Because hey, we need a parking garage there. It can't be woods anymore.
Yep. Yep, we need somewhere to park our cars that emit all kinds of shit. But I'm thankful for cars because I'd much rather drive than freaking walk.
Well, there's a way to. I mean, you can make environmentally friendly cars. Oh, another thing. While we're on the topic of cars, useful invention. In case anybody with any power in the government is watching this, here's an idea to pitch. I'm gonna pitch another idea later, but here's one as far as changing laws goes. With cars, magnetically protected cars. So not necessarily self-driving, but like it's magnetically repelled from other vehicles so that you can't hit another vehicle.
Yeah,
like you have to, it keeps you at least like 3 feet away from the car next to you so that you can't hit another car. And it's smart. Also magnetically repelled from like guardrails or, you know, like things you might hit, you know, or the edges of the road. You just have like magnetically powered edges of the roads.
But like, where would the cars go when they hit? Like, how would that even be a thing? Like, what would happen?
It just keeps them on track, kind of like a go-kart, basically. In a go-kart track, if you hit the wall, you just kind of stay at, you know. So kind of like that, where, you know, you protect drivers, you protect the cars, you protect nature.
Can we go till 6? My class starts in like 15 minutes.
Oh, wow. 15 minutes? Isn't it 6:30?
No, my class starts a little early. Yeah.
All right. Well, let me lay this on you then.
I'm ready.
4D pants. What are your thoughts?
4D pants.
Oh, we're going there.
I don't even know what to imagine on a 4D pant. What even does it? I'm gonna Google it. Is that a real thing?
So basically, you take a pair of. I'd be interested to see what Google has to say about this, but
like a number 4D pants.
Like fourth dimensional pants, basically. Yes. So like. What you would do then, since the fourth dimension is time, in summary then, you would have time traveling pants.
This is what Google came up with.
Is that like Old Navy or Ross or like where
Amazon.
So buy yourself a pair of 4D pants on Amazon right now. And you yourself can watch your famous historical event, your favorite historical event take place right in front of your eyes. But in any case, 4D pants, as far as like a video game, basically, it's like it's a regular pair of pants, but you turn them inside out, and then you put them on. And in that theory, instead of objects moving vertically, they are moving horizontally. And I mean, you know what this means. I mean, you know, famed scientist James King already explored this principle, who's well noted for the King's Brothers Scientific Institute. But you know, the point is, with 4D pants, it's like it's very complex, and you know, he talked about it for I think 64 minutes or whatever. I had it audio recorded on my phone, but I had the pleasure of speaking with him about it in a one-on-one conference when he came over to my house.
Oh, you actually talked to him?
Yeah, I got James King himself in my house, and I talked to him for 64 minutes about 4D pants.
About 4D
but,
pants.
yeah, well, he wanted to, because he's an aspiring game developer. He's an aspiring game developer, so he wanted to make it into a video game where like each level gets more complex. So it starts off as like an 8-bit game, and then you keep unlocking like these items basically that help improve the game. It's like a self-aware game, and by the end of it, it's like a full-on virtual reality 360 immersive experience game. But it all revolves around 4D pants, a time travel. It's like as an item basically. It's like a one-up. Like 4D pants are to this game as like mushrooms are to Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, okay.
So it's like the 4D pants. It's this complex thing in themselves, but it's just a very small portion of the game. You know, like I mean, you know what a tesseract is?
Nope.
Like that's a third-dimensional object, and you know, we're scientists are still baffled by that. We're like, oh, what's going on? Was Vinegreal 9256 involved in this? I'm like, probably not, but you know, I mean, we don't know, but you know, that's a discussion for another time. But the point is, that's a third-dimensional object. We live in the third dimension, to the best of our knowledge, and we can't even understand a third-dimensional object like a tesseract. How are we supposed to even begin to comprehend 4D pants? You know? So, but yeah.
You think about some random stuff.
Well, yeah, like just the other day, I was thinking about immortal jellyfish too, and like if you can technically become one, if you're in the right. I mean, you look at me like I'm crazy, but if you've ever been in like one of those swimming pools that it's like, you know, they keep it at 88 degrees, and You'd think that's a made-up number, but there's this RV park in Kissimmee called Tropical Palms, and that's where I got introduced to this concept, was at that pool, which because I've been to that trailer park so many times as a youngin'. I haven't been there in the last, like...
How old are you? You're like 17, right?
I cannot disclose that on my YouTube channel.
Oh. Sorry, YouTubers. He's 12. No one knows now.
No one knows I'm 28 years old, but in any case,
he's 12. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah. So Tropical Palms, they had this pool. It was always at 88 degrees, and so that became the established temperature of desire for myself, as well as I later came to find out, the jellyfish species. But they have adapted to colder climates, like and they live in the Pacific Ocean. I mean, yeah, jellyfish are common along the coast, but if you go to the deep ocean, there's creatures down there, like 5 miles below the ocean surface that have never seen sunlight in their life, and we can't even get down there because so it's like, dude, we don't even know. Like, there's some kind of alien,
half of the stuff that's going on in our oceans.
Exactly. Or like in the insect world too. There's these things that live underground, and just like these microscopic things that our devices can't detect and everything. And then you got all the different frequency planes interacting. Because Andromeda's coming our way. You got those bands like storm bands already sending gamma rays through all of our reptilian radio towers that are basically I mean, we can only see what our human eyes are meant to detect. We can only detect carbon-based things. So you have, you go to a planet like Venus, and it just looks like a barren wasteland, but what if it's actually teeming with life? And what if when the UFOs come over us, the reptilians, what if they actually see a planet, Earth, that resembles what we see in Venus? It's just because of that difference of that. So maybe that's why we haven't colonized the moon yet, is because, there's things there, and they want war, they're out to get us because we're invading their homeland once again. And they're like, I thought we already settled this in 542 BC. And like, oh, nope, no, we didn't. We're still coming at it again. But speaking of the moon, what are your, how personally do you feel the reptilian king felt about the faking of the 1969 moon landing?
You asked me questions I don't have answers to. I don't know.
All right.
Is that an answer? Does that work?
I mean, you weren't that hesitant when you chose Wizbo over Frobble, so this is a much less controversial...
I should just improv it and pick something.
Okay, so the same could apply here.
Okay, so what was the question again?
How did the reptilian king feel about the faking of the 1969 moon landing?
Well, it all depends on whether if the faking of the 1960 moon landing benefited him or not. If it benefited him, I'm sure he was really happy about it. And if it didn't benefit him and it hurt him, I'm sure he was upset.
Well, this is a very complex political topic, so it's
we should get too into it. We have 2 minutes.
As far as the reptilian king's concerned, what is truly in the reptilian king's interest? What does he want? What makes the reptilian king happy? What makes it upset? What's your opinion?
I don't know.
What does the reptilian king stand for? Or at least the king at the time.
Women, money, wealth, food, power.
Vinegar eels.
Well,
that's what makes the world go round, really.
I've never even heard of one till I talk to you.
And see, this is why it's good to meet new people, is you never know what you're going to learn, Right?
Yes.
I mean, imagine your life pre-eels compared to your life post-eels. Boom. 2 different worlds, right? When I've never been the same since I discovered vinegar eels.
I can tell. It's all you talk about.
Well, not entirely. But real quick, what is your favorite breakfast cereal? Or any cereal? I mean, I don't know why I said breakfast, but what's your favorite cereal?
It's either Honey Nut Cheerios, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, or Captain Crunch.
Why? Oh, that's my very close friend's favorite cereal. Why Honey Nut Cheerios specifically, as opposed to all the varieties of Cheerios?
Oh, because the original's the best.
Pumpkin Spice Cheerios, though.
Ooh.
Do you not like pumpkin?
No, not a fan.
Like pumpkin,
I like pumpkin
ice
seeds.
Cream or like
no,
pumpkin?
Never had it. I have to go.
All right.
So let's close this video out, right? We have to do it
so
right.
So what are your closing statements? Like, what do you have to say?
Well, I'm sure this is going to be somewhat entertaining for you YouTube subscribers, because I don't know anything.
That's a very subpar episode.
Huh? Yeah. Sorry.
Oh no. This has been very eventful.
Subpar.
No. It's alright. It's alright. This has been a rollicking.
Time is very. I'm very frugal with my time.
So. Time is a tool you can put on the wall or wear it on your wrist. The past is far behind us. The future doesn't exist.
Yep, literally. Right now is all we have.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go to class, guys. It was nice meeting you all. I hope you enjoyed this.
And if you're in a class where the professor isn't aware of the existence of vinegar eels, you got to get out of there.
Get out.
They're not teaching you anything worth
They're not going to benefit you.
I mean, it's one thing like if the curriculum doesn't allow for the addition of vinegar eels to the syllabus, to the course content, but just at least have the professor acknowledge that.
Right?
Like on the first day of class, have it be like, hey, listen, I'm sorry to disappoint everyone, but unfortunately we will not be able to discuss vinegar eels in this class. But look them up on your own time. Like if they don't even mention them, it's not worth it. All right, thanks everybody. It's been a very short episode, I know, but that's just the way it goes. But we'll have a turbo thing, whatever. All right, that's it. See ya.